Hey folks, welcome back to another Old Georgian Boy and Guitar episode. Been a while since I've posted a video, had a lot going on, hadn't had a chance to do a whole lot, but today we're going to be installing a set of these Wilkinson Easy Lock tuners. They're 19-to-1 ratio tuners. They're locking tuner. They're not the typical locking tuner like most people expect. And something that I can, that I want to say too is to people that are just getting started, modifying guitars, interested, buying guitars, whatever, is a misconception to some people that are not real familiar with locking tuners is their first perception of them is that the tuners themselves lock, like a locking nut with a Floyd Rose, and that's not the case. All a locking tuner does is lock the string in the tuner. It doesn't lock the tuner itself. And some people might be under the misconception of that simply because of, the locking nut on a Floyd Rose that actually locks the string. So that's just something to add in there. So I'm going to try to get in here today and we're going to take this Squier, and if I can get the camera turned here, this is another one of these SEs I've picked up, and we're gonna change out these stock tuners, which aren't bad, but I wanted to use the black tuners, and you'll see why when I show you the rest of the guitar. And we're gonna put some roller string trees on here as well. So I'm gonna set in and go ahead and remove all this hardwire, get all that took off, and then we'll go from there. Okay, something that I noticed when I started removing the hardware off of the old machine tuners off, is the size of the hole. And these actually have the same type of tuner is what we're putting on, so we're not going to have to drill the holes out. A lot of times the neck will have an 8mm, I believe it is, hole, whereas most of your aftermarket tuners, locking tuners, whatever, are going to have 10. So you have to drill those holes out. So that was a good thing with this, because I was actually expecting to have to drill these out. And these aren't bad tuners. They're just, they're not locking. And with a tremolo, I believe you're a lot better off with locking tuners. It keeps tuning a whole lot better. So this is really kind of not going to be a whole lot to this, more or less than just reinstall them the same way they come off. So that's going to make this job a whole lot easier. These tuners aren't staggered, so it don't matter which one goes where. So it's just a matter of reinstalling them back, making sure we get everything put in the right spot. So this is a fairly easy job that anybody can do, and it's a definite upgrade, especially when it comes to tunability and tuning stability is the word. It's going to make a big difference. And the ratio, I don't know what those old tuners were. I would probably guess 12-to-1, but these being 19-to-1, you're gonna be able to tune a whole lot better. It's gonna make a big difference in how it tunes up. So, but these, and I'll show you here shortly when we start restringing it, how these work as far as how you lock the string. They're not like a lot of the tuners that have the knob on the back that tightens the string. These work a little bit different. The only drawback to these is when you go to restring it, it takes a little more effort to get the old strings out. So that's the main thing. So I'm just going to finish reinstalling these and tighten everything up, and then we'll come back and get on with the next part of it. Okay, I'm just finishing up putting the screws in the back, and luckily, you know, they pretty well line up. I mean, so this was an exceptionally easy job. I mean, it was, you know, a lot of times you have to re-drill the screw holes on the back, fill in the old screw holes. I mean, it can get, you know, kind of complicated, but this time it was, you know, pretty easy. If I can get a hold of this screw, would make it a whole lot easier. But this has really been a really straightforward, you know, job. It's been real easy. This is something you can do just in a little while. And something else about the Wilkinson tuners, well, all Wilkinson parts are reasonable, and they're, you know, they're good quality, most of the time good quality. But these tuners were $24 plus, you know, plus shipping. So I think it was $5 shipping. So under $30, and we're in good shape. So, you know, you can't beat that for what you get. Now these nuts on top, we want them tightened down, and I'm gonna try to find something a little better than that. Possibly. Wouldn't guarantee nothing. You want these tightened down just snug. I mean, you don't need, these things ain't holding the guitar together. You want to just get them down snug. You don't want to mar your finish, especially on a painted headstock. You can really mess up the finish, but you just want to get them down just snug where they're not loose, not going to loosen up. Alrighty. Okay, let's see if we can see just a little better. There we go. All right, now I've already had this thing strung up, as we say in Georgia, one time. So I've got a real rat's nest of a deal here to try to get straightened out. It's going to be a little hard to, probably shouldn't try to do this with these other strings, but they're new strings, and I'm too tight to change them out. So on these tuners, if I can get maybe in just a little bit closer, we'll see how that works out. Maybe that'll work. Okay, where everybody can see, and that ain't working. There we go. But these, they've got two holes, where most, you know, like the tuner like this just has the one hole. This has two, and all you do is you run it all the way through. Let me get this stuff out of the way. You run it all the way through, and like I say, having these things, you know, strung up before is going to make this hard. But that's the way it is. Okay, you run it all the way down to where you want it. You know, to where your tension's right and everything that way. Then you wrap it around one time, and then you come back through the second hole. Okay, just like that. And these, you know, your low strings are you're going to be your hardest to get, you know. But once you get it there, you just tighten it up. Then you just trim it off. That's it. And you do, you know, that's the way you do every one. Let's do one more here. But it's the same way. You just run it through, all the way through. Then wrap it around one time, and then run it through that second hole, and you're there. I mean, it's simple as that. And like, this is the second set of these that I've put on. No problems, no slipping, no issues. So, all right, let me pause and get this thing strung up, as we say in the South, and we'll come back and see what it looks like when we're done. All righty, I'm back after much struggle and strife and problems from trying to use strings through locking tuners. I have succeeded. There you go. That's what I went ahead and stuck the roller trees on there. You know, got them on. I mean, you take 2 screws out, take the old ones off, put 2 screws in. And you want to turn them to where they're you're going to be where you need to be with your brake angle right there. That's the main thing. But with a tremolo, I mean, those roller string trees make all the difference. But the reason that one of the reasons I went with the black tuners, black string roller trees, is the black logo and a black guitar. So, this is another one of the SE Squiers that I picked up. They're the ones that were sold in a kit with the amp gig bag stand. Man, these things are right. If you can get a hold one of these, they're a whole lot better than a Bullet or an Affinity. They got great necks on them. They got the full thickness body. They come in black, white, and then like the sunburst is the only 3 colors that they came in. But this one here, I picked it up. I've done a whole, pretty much redone everything on it. The body and the necks, about the only thing. I've got a Graphtec nut to go in it, and that'll top it off. But it's got the Wilkinson high output single coils, and then it's got a pure Chinese humbucker that I'm still debating and playing with, see whether I like it. And I also put in a micro switch so I can switch the humbucker from single to, full. It's got a GFS premium wiring, the big pots, good caps, the good wire, switch, jack, GFS pick guard. I mean, this is a nice pick guard. And something about that pick guard is it came with the holes countersunk, like for the switch and the pickups, where a lot of your eBay or whatever pick guards, they're not countersunk and your screws stick up. This is a GFS tremolo, got the brass block in the back. This thing's upgraded all the way. Got, the black neck plate on the back of it, black strap buttons. I mean, I just thought it looked pretty cool. Just, black rooster head knobs, which I like. A lot of people don't. I mean, but that's their deal and that's mine. So, anyway, that's kind of a halfway instructional video as you'll ever see. But, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So, I shouldn't have tried to do that with those strings, but I just put them on here, and I'm tight. I don't, I ain't about to throw away no $5-6 set of strings just because. But it's going to be a lot better with these tuners. I mean, there's, for the money, 19-to-1 ratio, man, you can't beat it. So, anyway, I hope you actually could figure something out on this, and, I'll try to do a better one. Got some stuff coming up that I think people are going to be interested in. I'm going to be doing a fret leveling job and recrowning some frets on a guitar. And as much as I struggle just putting a set of strings on, you can only imagine what that's going to be. So got that coming up, and in hopefully about 3 weeks, I'm going to be doing a Chibson unboxing. So I've got one coming, and curiosity killed the cat, and I wasn't going to buy one. I have the Stevie Ray Vaughan Chinese counterfeit copy, and it turned out great. So I just couldn't help but just give in to the fact, man, I got to just try one of these. So if it makes it here, we're going to have that hopefully in about 3-4 weeks. We're going to have that coming up, and just a multitude of this, that, and the other, just different things as they come about. And but man, I want to tell you, I really appreciate all the views I've got, the thumbs up, all the subscribers I'm picking up. I mean, I really, really appreciate it. I'm still using my phone. I ain't got my camera going. I bought one, and then my laptop bit the green weenie, so now I've got to go get another laptop to where I can actually do anything with my camera. So, hey, it's a work in progress, and so like I say, I appreciate everybody, tuning in and watching these, and if you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down, either way, and I appreciate it. Until the next time, see you later.